The millionaire came home early and discovered why his 4-year-old daughter couldn't sleep at night. It was a quiet Tuesday evening in the upscale suburbs of Greenwich, Connecticut, when Alexander Harrington pulled his sleek black Mercedes into the sprawling driveway of his 12,000-square-foot modern mansion. The sun had dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the manicured lawns and the gleaming glass facade of the home he'd built from the ground up. But something felt off tonight. Alex had wrapped up his board meeting in Manhattan earlier than expected, a rare miracle in the cutthroat world of tech investments, and for once, he hadn't lingered for drinks with the partners. He wanted to surprise his little girl. As he stepped out of the car, the cool autumn air hit him, carrying the faint scent of falling leaves. At 42, Alex was the picture of success, tall, broad-shouldered, with sharp features softened only by the stress lines that had crept in over the years. He'd turned a small startup into a billion-dollar empire, but lately, that empire felt like a cage. His wife, Emily, had passed away 3 years ago from a sudden illness, leaving him alone with the daughter, Lily, a bright-eyed 4-year-old who was the only light in his increasingly dark world. He'd hired a live-in nanny, Mrs. Elena Ramirez, a kind woman in her 50s recommended by a trusted colleague. Elena was supposed to handle everything while Alex worked 80-hour weeks. But Lily hadn't been sleeping well for months. Night after night, she'd wake up crying, clinging to her stuffed bunny, whispering about monsters or bad dreams. Doctors said it was normal grief, maybe separation anxiety. Alex felt helpless, drowning in guilt for not being there more. Tonight, he thought, he'd fix that. He'd tuck her in himself, read her favorite story about the brave little princess, and maybe, just maybe, things would start to feel normal again. Alex entered through the side door quietly, not wanting to alert Elena right away. The house was eerily silent. No clatter from the kitchen, no soft lullaby from upstairs. He glanced at his watch. 8:15 p.m. Lily's bedtime was 8 o'clock sharp. He kicked off his shoes and headed up the grand staircase, his Italian leather briefcase left by the door. As he reached the second-floor landing, a faint sound stopped him cold. It was coming from Lily's room, a soft, muffled sob. His heart clenched. Was she having another nightmare already? But then he heard something else. A voice, not Elena's warm, accented tone. This was sharper, colder. A woman's voice, low and angry. You think you can just cry all night and get away with it? Your daddy's not here to save you now, is he? Alex froze. That wasn't Elena. Who the hell was in his daughter's room? He crept closer, his pulse pounding in his ears. The door to Lily's room was slightly ajar, a sliver of pink nightlight spilling into the hallway. He peered through the crack, and what he saw made his blood run ice cold. There, sitting on the edge of Lily's princess bed, was a young woman he didn't recognize, mid-20s, with dark hair pulled into a messy ponytail, wearing casual jeans and a hoodie. She was leaning over his tiny daughter, who was curled up under the covers, her little face streaked with tears, clutching her bunny so tight her knuckles were white. The woman grabbed Lily's arm, not hard enough to bruise, but firm enough to scare. Stop whining, kid. I'm trying to watch my show downstairs, and your crying is ruining it. If you don't shut up, I'll lock the door and leave you in the dark all night. Lily whimpered, please, I want daddy. Your daddy's too busy making money to care about a brat like you. Now go to sleep. Alex's vision blurred with rage. This stranger was terrifying his baby girl, the reason she couldn't sleep at night. But where was Elena? He burst into the room like a storm. What the hell is going on here? The young woman jumped up, eyes wide with shock. Lily's face lit up through her tears. Daddy. Alex scooped Lily into his arms in one fluid motion, holding her close as she buried her face in his shoulder, sobbing. He glared at the intruder. Who are you? And where is Mrs. Ramirez? The woman stammered, backing away. I'm Sarah, Elena's niece. She had a family emergency and asked me to fill in tonight. I didn't mean. Get out, Alex growled, his voice low and dangerous. Get out of my house right now, or I'll call the police. Sarah grabbed her phone from the nightstand and bolted down the stairs. Alex heard the front door slam moments later. He sat on the bed, rocking Lily gently, his own eyes stinging. It's okay, sweetheart. Daddy's here. I'm so sorry. Lily clung to him, her small body shaking. She was mean, Daddy. She yelled and turned off the light and said bad things about you. Alex's heart shattered into a million pieces. How long had this been going on? Was this an isolated incident, or had Elena been letting others watch his daughter? He thought Elena was trustworthy. She'd been with them for 2 years. But now, doubt flooded him. He carried Lily downstairs, still holding her tight, and found Elena in the kitchen, looking pale and flustered, sipping tea. Mr. Harrington, you're home early. Explain, he demanded, his voice edged with steel. Elena set down her cup, tears welling in her eyes. Sir, my sister called this afternoon. Her husband had a heart attack. I had to go to the hospital in New York. I didn't want to bother you at work, so I asked my niece Sarah to come over just for a few hours. She's watched kids before, I swear. I thought it would be fine. Alex looked at her, seeing the genuine remorse. Elena had been like a grandmother to Lily, baking cookies, singing Spanish lullabies, helping with the grief after Emily's death. But tonight changed everything. Elena, Lily's been having trouble sleeping for weeks. Nightmares, crying. Was this happening before? Elena shook her head vigorously. No, sir, Lily sleeps fine when I'm here. She's been asking for you more, missing you, but nothing like this. Sarah must have. Oh God, what did she do? Alex recounted what he'd seen and heard. Elena gasped, covering her mouth. That girl, I trusted her. I'm so sorry, Mr. Harrington. I'll never forgive myself. He believed her. Elena wasn't the problem. Her poor judgment in a pinch was. But the damage was done. Lily was traumatized, and Alex realized the real monster under the bed wasn't a dream. It was his absence. That night, after Elena left to check on her family, with a promise to return only if Alex allowed, he stayed with Lily. He read her 3 stories, sang off key versions of her favorite songs, and promised he'd never let anyone hurt her again. But as Lily finally drifted off in his arms, Alex stared at the ceiling, a new resolve burning in his chest. Money had given him this house, this life, but it had stolen his time with the one person who mattered most. The next morning, Alex called his office and took a leave of absence, indefinite. He fired the agency that had recommended Elena initially, though he kept Elena on probation, because Lily loved her, and installed security cameras everywhere. But more importantly, he started being there. Days turned into weeks. Alex learned to make pancakes shaped like hearts, burning the first dozen. He took Lily to the local park, pushing her on the swings until she giggled uncontrollably. They built blanket forts in the living room and watched Disney movies on repeat. At first, Lily was hesitant, waking up multiple times a night, calling for him. But with Alex there every time, holding her, reassuring her, the nightmares faded. One evening, as they walked hand in hand through a nearby trail, leaves crunching underfoot, Lily looked up at him with those big blue eyes, just like her mother's. Daddy, are you gonna go away again? He knelt down, hugging her tight. No, baby girl, Daddy's home for good. Work can wait. You can't. Alex delegated his company to trusted executives, stepping back to her advisory role. He rediscovered the joy of simple things. Bedtime stories without rushing, breakfasts together, teaching Lily to ride a bike in their massive backyard. And Lily, she blossomed. The scared little girl who couldn't sleep became a confident, happy child, filling the house with laughter again. Alex often thought back to that night he came home early, the night that saved everything. Money could buy a mansion, but only presence could build a home. Only love could chase away the real monsters. In the end, the millionaire learned that true wealth isn't measured in dollars. It's in the moments you never miss with the ones who need you most. If this story touched your heart, remember, No success in the world is worth missing the irreplaceable time with your loved ones. Be present, be there, because one day, you might come home early, and be grateful you did. The autumn wind whispered through the towering oaks lining the driveway as Alexander Harrington eased his black Mercedes S-Class to a stop outside his sprawling modern mansion in Greenwich, Connecticut. It was just past 7:30 p.m. on a crisp Tuesday in October, earlier than he'd arrived home in months. The glass and steel facade of the 12,000-square-foot home glowed softly under the landscape lights, a testament to the empire he'd built in tech investments. But tonight, something pulled him home, a nagging worry about his little girl. Alex, 42 and impeccably dressed in a tailored navy suit, stepped out of the car, briefcase in hand. His broad shoulders carried the weight of boardrooms and billion-dollar deals, but his sharp blue eyes softened at the thought of Lily, his 4-year-old daughter, the spitting image of her late mother, Emily, with golden curls and a smile that could melt steel. 3 years had passed since Emily's sudden battle with cancer stole her away, leaving Alex a widower and single father. He'd thrown himself into work to cope, building Harrington Tech into a powerhouse while hiring the best help for Lily. Mrs. Elena Ramirez, a warm-hearted nanny in her mid-50s, had been a godsend, or so he thought. But lately, Lily's sleep issues had worsened, nightmares, cries in the night, clinginess that broke his heart over quick video calls from the office. Tonight, he'd surprise her. No more guilt. He'd tuck her in, read her favorite book about the little princess who befriends a dragon, and maybe stay for a cuddle. Entering quietly through the side door to avoid alerting anyone, Alex set his briefcase down in the marble foyer. The house was unusually still. No hum of the TV in the kitchen, no soft footsteps upstairs. Lily's bedtime was strictly 8 p.m. He glanced at his Rolex, 7:45. Perfect timing. As he climbed the grand staircase, carpet muffling his steps, a sound pierced the silence, a child's muffled sob, heartbreaking and small. His stomach twisted. Lily. Then, a voice. Sharp, impatient, unfamiliar. Quit your whining already. I've told you twice. Lights out means lights out. Your daddy ain't coming to save you tonight, princess. Alex froze midway up the stairs. That wasn't Elena's gentle, accented voice. This was younger, harsher. He crept to Lily's door, slightly ajar, pink glow from her nightlight spilling out. Peering through the crack, rage boiled in his veins. A stranger, mid-20s, dark hair in a messy ponytail, hoodie and jeans, hovered over Lily's bed. His daughter was curled into a ball under her princess comforter, clutching her worn stuffed bunny, Mr. Flops, tears streaming down her rosy cheeks. The woman snatched the nightlight plug from the wall, plunging the room into darkness except for the hallway bleed. There, now shut up and sleep, or I'll take that stupid bunny too. Crybabies don't get toys. Lily whimpered, please, don't. I want daddy. Daddy's busy being rich. He doesn't have time for this. Now zip it. The woman yanked the covers higher, roughly, and stormed toward the door. Alex exploded into the room. What the hell do you think you're doing? The woman spun, eyes wide in terror. Lily bolted upright. Daddy. In one stride, Alex scooped Lily into his arms, her small body trembling as she buried her face in his neck, soaking his collar with tears. He held her tight, one hand stroking her curls, the other clenched in fury. Get out of my house. Now, he growled at the intruder. I was just Elena's niece, Sarah. She had an emergency. I don't care who you are. Leave, or I call the cops right now. Sarah grabbed her phone and fled, footsteps thundering down the stairs, front door slamming behind her. Alex sank onto the bed, rocking Lily gently under the restored nightlight. Shush, baby, girl, daddy's got you. It's over. She clung harder. She was mean, daddy. Turned off the light and said you'd never come home. That you didn't love me anymore. His heart shattered. Oh, sweetheart, no. Daddy loves you more than anything. I'm so sorry I wasn't here sooner. Downstairs, he found Elena in the kitchen, pale and tearful. She explained the family emergency, her brother's heart attack, and how she'd panicked, calling her niece without thorough checks. Alex listened, seeing her genuine remorse. Elena had been family to Lily, but trust was cracked. He put her on probation, installed nanny cams overnight, and vowed changes. That night, he didn't leave Lily's side. He read stories until his voice hoarse, sang lullabies off-key, held her until dawn peeked through the curtains. The next day, he called his executives. Indefinite leave. Company could run without him micromanaging. What followed was redemption. Mornings became pancake chaos, flour everywhere, heart-shaped disasters turning into laughter-filled breakfasts. Nightmares faded. Sleep came easy with Daddy's goodnight kisses. Months later, on that same trail, Lily asked, "Daddy, you staying forever?" He knelt, eyes misty. "Forever and always, my princess. You're my world." Alex had millions in the bank, but true riches were these moments, irreplaceable, priceless. The night he came home early saved them both. Success means nothing without the ones you love beside you. Remember, be present, because family isn't something you fit in, it's everything.